A few hours later, Miss Frenzy roared up to Jean Chun's place on her motorbike, looking absolutely stunning. She parked and walked up to the door, where Jean Chun was waiting. "So, why'd you call me over this early, especially when I was getting ready for my morning run at the stadium?" she asked with a playful grin. Jean Chun casually replied, "It's nothing major. Just wanted to show you my new apartment." Her eyes widened as she stepped inside, glancing around. "Not bad at all," she said, clearly impressed. "Of course it's not bad," Jean Chun smirked. "It's costing me 4 to 6,000 yuan a month, about $826. Miss Frenzy rolled her eyes and teasingly stepped behind him, wrapping her arms around his shoulders. "So, this is where the gym membership money I gave you went? You're really living the high life, huh?" Jean Chun chuckled. "Well, I didn't have a way to pay you back, so I figured it was better to spend it all as fast as possible. Maybe you'd forget about it that way." Her expression darkened instantly. "You've got some nerve," she growled before leaping onto his lap and grabbing him by the neck. "You used my money for this?" She shook him like a sandbag as he desperately tried to explain, but in the chaos, his hand accidentally grazed her chest. A brief, stunned silence filled the room before she shrieked in fury. "You pervert!" she yelled, ready to pummel him again. But before the storm could continue, a knock echoed from the door. "Delivery. Your gaming cockpit is here." "Wait a second," Jean Chun called out, turning back to the furious Miss Frenzy. "I bought you a gaming cockpit with the money I earned in the game. If you don't take it, I'll refund it right now." Miss Frenzy paused, her anger melting as quickly as it came. "A gaming cockpit? For me?" Her voice softened. "Well, if you've already bought it, there's no point in sending it back," she said, trying to play it cool but clearly excited. Jean Chun grinned, feeling the tension in the room ease. "One cockpit enough to cover my debt?" he teased. "It's a bit big for your school dorm, and your dad would probably smash it if you put it at home. How about keeping it here? I've got a room reserved for you." She couldn't help but laugh, her mood completely turned around. "Fine. It is the newest model," she said, pulling out her phone to take pictures and share with her friends. Jean Chun sighed, shaking his head. Sure enough, money really does solve 99% of problems. As Miss Frenzy happily snapped photos, Jean Chun logged back into the game, eager to keep grinding. The moment he appeared in-game, his master was waiting for him. "Not bad," she said, her eyes glowing with approval. "You're progressing faster than I've seen in a long time." Jean Chun bowed slightly. "Thank you for the praise, master. But I'm stuck at the chi refining initial stage. I'm not sure how to break through." In most cases, Jean Chun thought to himself, players needed a special elixir to break through each stage. Deciding to test the waters, he glanced up at his master. "I was wondering, do you happen to have an elixir that could help me move forward?" His master nodded and pulled out a pill, its radiant glow signifying its potency. "This is a high-quality chi condensing pill," she said. "If you take it, you'll be able to break through to the intermediate phase." Jean Chun's eyes lit up with excitement, and he gratefully reached out to accept it. But just as his fingers brushed the elixir, his master pulled her hand back. "Not so fast," she said with a stern expression. "While your talents may be exceptional, you must understand that true strength comes from more than just cultivation. A real cultivator has fought through countless battles and faced endless challenges." Jean Chun paused, absorbing her words. "What you're saying, master, is that flowers raised in a greenhouse may look beautiful, but they will never survive the harsh storms of the world. Only trees that weather the fiercest winds can stand tall for eternity." He sighed slightly, the truth sinking in. In his past life, he had already discovered that while you could improve cultivation realms by throwing money at it, battle experience could only be earned through hard-fought struggles. His master raised an eyebrow, clearly impressed. "You've got quite the insight for someone so young." She had never expected him to be so grounded, and her favorability towards him increased by 5 points, reaching the familiar level. Jean Chun felt a small surge of pride. Earning his master's favor was a win, and part of him briefly entertained the idea of possibly making her fall for him someday. But no, he quickly pushed the thought aside. "In this life, I'm focused on one thing, becoming the #1 sword cultivator. There's no room for distractions like love." His master, unaware of his inner thoughts, continued. "Now, if you want that pill, you'll need to prove yourself. Head to the sect mission area in the outer hall. Pick a mission suitable for the chi refining stage, and if you succeed, the spiritual pill will be yours." Jean Chun nodded, accepting the challenge. But before he could leave, his master handed him a scroll. "This is the Tian Heart Sutra," she said. It's a core heart technique that every disciple in the Tianyin sword sect must learn. Jinshin took the scroll gratefully. This is something all disciples learn, but most outer disciples have to earn it through missions. He grinned to himself. But I get it handed to me directly. Being a direct disciple has its perks. As morning broke, Jinshin made his way to the outer hall of the sect. Looking around, he noticed that the place was busier than expected. Looks like a lot of players have joined the sect, he thought. Makes sense. Even though the sect invitation mission is hidden, sharp players would eventually figure it out. Soon, more and more will flood in. But I was here first, and I've already secured my spot as a direct disciple. Suddenly, he heard a familiar voice call his name. Jinshin. He turned to see Wanling, the girl he had sold information to earlier, waving at him with a bright smile. Jinshin was a little surprised to see her. So she really did join the sword sect after buying that info from me. He smiled back. Good. The more friends I have in this game, the better. Who knows? I might need her help in the future. Inshin turned to Wanling, giving a casual nod. What a coincidence that we ended up in the same sect, he said. Wanling smiled. I've always loved swords, so of course I chose the sword sect. Without saying much more, Jinshin waved her off. I've got a mission to complete. Let's chat next time. Wanling's smile faltered a bit as he walked away, cutting their conversation short. He left so fast, she muttered, feeling a little disappointed. The girl beside her smirked. Jinshin's pretty cold. Huh? I bet it's going to be tough if you're trying to win him over. Wanling's cheeks turned bright red. She snapped back. What are you talking about? Which eye of yours sees me chasing after him? The other girl burst into laughter. What a pity. I was hoping to watch a good show. A girl chasing after a guy. Wanling huffed, embarrassed. Let's not waste any more time. We need to finish our mission. We still need 3 merit points to exchange for the Tianyin Heart Sutra. Her friend groaned. Ugh, don't remind me. It's so hard to earn merit points. We've done so many missions, and we're still 3 points short. How is anyone supposed to get the Tianyin Heart Sutra? Little did they know, Jinshin had already received the Heart Sutra without breaking a sweat. As he scanned through the technique, deep in thought, the mission board attendant called out, Next. Jinshin stepped forward, greeted by the attendant's friendly but professional demeanor. Choose a mission, but make sure it's within your capabilities, she advised. Jinshin browsed the mission board, mentally weighing his options. Collecting mortal herbs? Too easy. Sure, I'd get experience, but it's just a waste of time. His eyes moved to the more advanced missions. Hunting chi refining stage monsters? Not bad for building combat experience, but nothing special. Then something caught his eye, a special plaque under the Hell difficulty section. His interest piqued. Jinshin leaned in closer. The mission was based in Fengzhou City, a place he knew well. A special mission usually means special rewards. Without hesitation, he selected the mission. Almost instantly, a message popped up from the system. Hell-level mission selected. Retrieve the lost secret technique. The mission difficulty is extremely high. Low-realm disciples should proceed with caution. The mission's details appeared before him. A chi refining stage disciple named Zhang Hai was killed outside the sect, and the secret technique he carried was stolen. Your mission is to avenge him and recover the lost technique. Jinshin's eyes narrowed. So this is a revenge mission? And the target is probably no pushover. But with the Tianyin Heart Sutra now boosting all his fighting attributes by 5%, Jinshin felt confident. He had the advantage of being a returner, and this challenge would only help sharpen his skills. Fengzhou City. Huh? I'm familiar with that place. This is going to be interesting. With a renewed sense of purpose, Jinshin accepted the mission. He knew that the rewards for completing a hell-level mission could propel him forward quickly, and besides, this was just the kind of challenge he needed to truly test his strength. The mission rewards flashed before Jinshin's eyes. 100 lower-grade spiritual stones, 100 merit points, 1 upper-grade chi condensing pill, a spiritual-grade martial art skill, and a hidden reward. The girl at the mission board raised an eyebrow, concerned. Are you sure you want to take this mission? It's extremely difficult. The person who killed Zhang Hai is likely at the chi refining stage final phase, much higher than your current realm. Besides, the sect doesn't allow disciples to accept new missions if they already have an incomplete one. Jinshin smiled and nodded politely. Thank you for the reminder, but I've made up my mind. Disciples nearby exchanged glances, clearly surprised. One of them scoffed. He's got to be joking. The mission hint clearly states the enemy is at the final phase of chi refining. There's no way he can handle that. He's practically asking to get killed. Another disciple chimed in, shaking his head. Even if he's crazy enough to face someone in a higher realm, the mission has too few leads. Finding the killer will be like searching for a needle in the ocean. He's just showing off, and we all know how that ends. Wait and see. He's going to be humiliated. Ignoring the chatter, Jin Chun headed off. Let them talk. By the time I'm done, I'll have the last laugh. Nightfall. Somewhere in Fengxiu City, Jin Chun arrived at the location hinted at in the mission. The dark, narrow alley buzzed with energy. He approached cautiously, the air heavy with tension. This is it. The trail begins here. Before he could even step inside the building, 3 beautiful, busty women approached him. Their movements were graceful, their eyes filled with respect. An immortal from the Tianyan sword sect, one of them purred. Please come inside. Let us guide you. Jinshin blinked, a bit caught off guard by their sudden appearance. What's this? Are they just welcoming me because of the sect, or is there something more going on? He kept his cool, nodding as they led him into the building.